If you've ever heard yourself asking, why does this always happen to me? Why today of all days? Or simply just, why me? Why now? Then you are in serious need of a reframe. Because you are asking the wrong questions, you are getting answers that are not helpful. Okay, so it begins with managing the voices in your head. However, or that's what a lot of folks would say, managing the voices in your head. I would like to add today, because I do also say that, it's better to think about it just like managing in a career versus leadership, to lead the messages in your head, the voices in your head, because managing it's more direct, right? So one of the definitions is to handle directly, whereas to lead is showing the way, right? So show the way in the thoughts in your head. So let's go back to those questions and get to the reframe. Why is a question that will not get you result-oriented solutions or answers? And think of it this way. Have you ever heard of when somebody says that that person is a whiny baby? Well, think about in the reframe as a why me baby. So when people say things like, why does this always happen to me? Why don't they like me? Why does it always rain on my birthday? You get the idea, right? Your voice will give you answers, your brain will give you answers that are not helpful. That's why it's important to reframe and ask for what you want versus what you don't, which we talked about in the first part of this series. And as we move on, to understand that there are so many ways to understand how why questions keep you stuck and pasteurizing, which we literally talked about in last week's vlog. Whereas a great reframe question is, what else could this mean? And an example of that would be, say you're driving in a car and somebody cuts you off and you get really frustrated. So when you ask yourself, what else could this mean, as opposed to getting road rage, perhaps that person just got a call from the school saying that their child had fallen at school and hurt their arm and is currently in urgent care. Or the wife went into labor, or a whole plethora of things that could make a person who wouldn't be an erratic driver a very erratic driver. Okay, so you can let it go when you will reframe and ask, what else could it mean? You could also say, what else could this mean? Right? So it mean and this mean. And when you say, what else could this mean? Woohoo! You get to look at what's your role in it. What else could this mean? How did I bring this about? What lesson can I learn so that I can move forward? And once you can learn the lesson, you can keep it in your back pocket and avoid things from happening again that aren't so desirable, right? So you're getting great, measurable, tangible outcomes when you ask yourself, what else could this mean? Meaning your role in it. And then the other one is, what else could they mean? Now, when you're looking at what else could they mean, keep in mind that a lot of stuff is lost in text, right? In writing, and you're missing inflection, which is why it's really great to have phone calls or interactive, um, you know, opportunities versus just text or email. And the example that I can give you is, inflection does not come across in a text. So if you take the statement or the sentence, he ran 5 miles, and then you give it different inflection. So if you say, he ran 5 miles, that's in relation to the person, right? So it sounds like maybe you're surprised. And then if you say he ran 5 miles, like you thought, okay, a walkathon maybe, but running is a whole different story. So the emphasis is there. And then if you say he he ran 5 miles, the emphasis was on either how far or how not far enough that it was, right? And then he ran 5 miles. Like, are you sure? So each of the inflections on those words makes the sentence different, and that does not come across in text and in emails. Okay, so when you say, what else could they mean, it's just, you've got to go directly to the source, right? Because inflection totally gets lost in text, as well as when you say, what else could they mean? Maybe they're having a bad day, right? Maybe they're confused, maybe they're frustrated, and this is an opportunity for you to reach out and have good communication, better communication, solid communication that is results oriented instead of assumptive, right? And we all know what assume means. So sometimes it's best to take control and lead because, leading is it's more benevolent, right? Versus managing, which is to take firmly and directly. So sometimes it is good to take control and lead. And sometimes it's best to just let go and shake it off, as the song goes. As you practice the opportunity to reframe, you will get better and better and become a master at knowing when it's best to take control and lead and when it's best to shake it off. I promise you. So practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. So keep in there and learn your lessons and ask those questions so that you'll become a master in the art of reframing. So when you do this, your messages will show up consistent and you will create a team that can follow you with confidence because of the way that you speak and the way that you act. You're positive, you are accountable, you walk the talk, all of those types of things. So you're really consistent in your messages, and that comes with reframing and being able to make it clear for everybody. Okay, now the fun part. For those of you who have made it through all three parts of NLP at Work, I want to gift you chapter 10 in the book, NLP at Work. And so to receive that gift, just email me at info@truespeak.us and put in the subject line chapter 10. It's all you need to do, and I will make sure that I get you the PDF of chapter 10. So, I'm Elle Graniel, the founder of Truespeak and the writer of 3 internationally best-selling books, most recently, The Team Whisperer, Successfully Lead a Cross-Generation Race and Gender Team. I'm also the creator of the certification for entry-level to mid-managers around that book. I love what I do. I would love to have the opportunity to chat with you if you'd like to practice some of the things that you learned in these 3 vlogs with me. And the ability to chat is below. So until then, like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, all of those things. Become an engaging human being. And looking forward to spending more time with you next week. So until then, be happy and healthy, my friends.